Right now, the Front Range is dealing with some power outages as high winds have caused real serious fire danger concerns. Joining me today to talk about electrical grids and what's kind of going into this decision behind Xcel choosing to run some shutoffs today, we have Colorado School of Mines Associate Professor of Electrical Engineering, Dr. Chuha Huang. Hi, Dr. Huang. Thanks for joining us today. Do you have power where you are right now, I hope? Looks like it.
Yes. I'm
Okay.
in my office at Colorado School of Mines. Yeah,
Okay,
we
good. Well,
still
I know
have
you guys
power.
are out in Golden, so I want to make sure you still had some power.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit here about strategy. I think people understand on the basic level, we don't want to start a fire with the power line. Walk us through how a company is going to make a decision in a high wind event with dry conditions, like how they're doing this and the choices they make behind it.
Yeah, as you said, right now we are in a very unique combination of all different factors that's very likely to causing the wildfires, high wind, and also very dry conditions. So these are the driving force. And I believe the Xcel or other utility, they have been looking into the weather forecast and see which part of the system with very high wind, and then calculate the risk and then try to balance whether this is the enough amount of risk alarm so that they would need to do something to prevent that happen. And the PSPS, so-called public safety power shutoff, is one of the last resort that will be used to try to minimize the risk.
When people build out these electrical systems, I know a lot of places are moving to more buried power lines versus what we think of as those tall poles. But those poles can withstand at some point an amount of wind. Talk about the infrastructure of a power grid and like what can it handle, what can't it handle?
Yeah, that's right. I think one thing you will notice that most of our those power poles is old, right? So it could be decades old already, and they are not designed for those extreme weather conditions that we have today. And that's one thing. And the second thing is that when we talk about the high poles, and you may have a higher wind speed as well at the same time. So that means that it could be another risk for those high poles. And the last thing I want to talk about is, when we talk about berry or hypo, I think those are trade-offs. Berry have relatively higher costs, but they could help to adjust all those issues related to hypos that potentially fall down or touching the trees nearby.
But you have to pay more for it, like you mentioned. Are more and
Yeah.
more municipalities and communities being built moving toward the buried lines? Is that just kind of where it's going at this point?
I think we have to do the trade-off analysis, as everything have to come with a cost, as you mentioned, right? And so they have to justify, at least in Colorado, they have to justify with the PUC that this is the best options after debating into the factors of the risk and the cost, and all those conditions.
We talk a lot about Colorado following a California model, these rolling power shutoffs. We've seen PG&E out there going bankrupt after wildfires caused by their power lines. So what is California doing right? Like, what can we learn from a California type as Colorado starts to implement kind of a similar strategy here? Or maybe California is not the model to follow. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think as you mentioned, a very good example, like California definitely is the upfront of all these issues. So they give us a kind of a wake-up call for other utilities, including utilities in Colorado, that these are the very significant risk and consequences they have to face if they don't do it right. So now PUC already approved Xcel Energy to implement a comprehensive wildfire mitigation plan, and they're rolling out those plans to try to mitigate those issues.
Certainly
So
customers.
I think
I'm sorry,
those
go ahead.
yeah, I think those are the right things. So in the right direction to try to invest and manage those risks.
Certainly customers will be disrupted by this. It's really hard when we all run on power, right?
Yeah.
What do you think people need to understand? I think it's a fair criticism that it can be disruptive to everybody's life to have these long power outages. What do people not understand about the risk analysis that Xcel Energy has to make? I mean, just to turn off, it's a big effort to turn off the power too, I'm sure, and turn it back on. But at the same, so balancing these risks, I guess, what are all the considerations that a company has to make and what should the customer understand?
I think first of all, the companies, as the customer, I am a customer of Xcel as well. So I believe this is a very serious consideration or action to take. And based on my domain knowledge is that these are the rare conditions, as you may know, that the last one is, they reserved to PSPS is last year. So it's a very very rare actions they take, and only under the condition that these are, evident that it's necessary to take this condition or
Yeah.
these actions.
Kind of the last thing they want to do. Well, Dr. Wang, I know as you teach your students about this type of engineering, this is a real world example for you today. Hey kids, look what we're going through in real time. So
Yeah. I talked to my kids this morning as well, try to, he's a 5-year-old, and then I want to share a little bit about the importance of our energy system as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, offering us a little bit more of an explanation about how this decision can be reached. We appreciate your expertise. Thank you, and happy holidays to you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Happy holiday.
Okay.